Welcome, everyone, to Boom Mic Banter. This is officially podcast episode number 1.
Okay.
I am Nick, joined with me, as always, the lovely, delightful Brian.
Huh? Lovely and delightful.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, cool.
For this one.
For this one.
Yeah, for next one, I'll be like,
fuck this guy.
This fucking guy.
Yeah,
this
fucking douchebag.
This fucking dude with a face. Yeah, Brian. So, Brian, how have you been?
I've been good. Before we got together this evening, I was supposed to get off work, go home, relax, get some me time in. Instead, my phone decided that.
Yeah, you had a lot of phone trouble.
Yeah. So I'm a social media coordinator for a Twitter webpage for a sports blog. On top of doing this podcast and having a day job. Big flex. Yeah, big flex. So a phone that decides it doesn't want to stay on is a big problem.
Yeah.
And my phone I was sitting there at work today with my phone just sitting there, messaging people, fucking around, watching porn, all that jazz. And my phone hits 25%.
In the middle, mid-stroke.
Yeah.
Mid-stroke, you're like, what the fuck? Notification battery.
Yeah.
Shit.
My phone hits 25%, so I'm like, all right, let me go plug this in. So I, of course, forgot my cord in my car, so I walked out, grabbed that, come back. Phone's at like 20%. So I go ahead and plug it in, and it's doing this weird thing where it thinks it's charging, but it's not, and then it thinks it's not charging, but then I see the percentage points going up, and I have to really jerry-rig my phone into a place where it'll charge, and then all of a sudden, I get to 5:30 because I stayed after a little later today.
Yeah.
My phone's at 5%, and it's been fluctuating between 1 and 10 for the last 3 hours.
Okay.
So get in the car. I'm like, I'll just go back home to my house, charge it. It won't be a big deal. It's just probably my crappy charger at home at the office. So I use my charger in my car. And my phone literally, in a 35-minute window, went up by 3 percentage points and then dropped 4. So it was at 2%.
So it's being a moody bitch right now.
Yeah.
It's
So
all
I hit
over the place.
I'm finally like, you know what? I'm done with this phone. I'm ready for an upgrade. I hit my roommate up as my phone's about to die.
Shout out to Stork, by the way.
Yeah, Stork.
Hey, Stork, we love you.
Yeah.
You better be listening, you son of a bitch. If you're not listening to this,
I will get you.
And we shout out. I was about to say, he fucking lives with you, Stork.
Yeah.
So you better get ready.
And I hit Stork up. I say, hey man, are you working? And where are you at? And he gave me the stuff. And I was like, all right. Drove right there. He hooked me up. I swapped out my phone for the new iPhone XS.
That's what I was just gonna say. So what phone did you have previously?
The iPhone 6S.
Okay, so that's the one that cucked you.
Yeah, this this is the newest one.
So you jumped up 5 phones?
Something like
that.
that.
5 levels.
This one is the newest iPhone. It's 4 months old.
Jesus.
So it should last me a while. But so Stork does all that, and he's like, "Hey, you want to? All right, so let's look at your." He's like, "Look, this is what we can port over." And so my phone to give you.
So of course, first you're like, okay, the porn, all the
The
save,
porn's
all
gotta
the
go
save
over.
downloads, all the save.
Nah,
images.
if you're like me, you have a sign in where you have it all saved.
Yeah,
so
there
fine.
we go. There we go. Very professional.
But
it's on the cloud.
Yeah, it's all cloud. So here's the problem: my phone hasn't backed up to the cloud because I ran out of space since October of 2017. So,
well, nobody proactively save shit to not every month would I be like, oh, I should probably save my shit to the cloud, you know what I mean, unless some.
Well, this is why you should do that.
Yeah,
so,
there we go. You're now advertising.
I found out that he could port over my contacts, which there's a lot of them because I've had the same phone number since I was 16.
Yep.
He could port over my photos. I found out I had about 7,000 photos saved on my phone, mostly memes.
Good God!
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was definitely a milestone for me because I think the last time I had over 2,000 in a phone. When I was
gonna be like, you vain son of a bitch.
So I was like, no, we don't have to port that over. Anything that was important to me is probably on Facebook or Instagram already. But I noticed throughout all this, I could port over my videos, I could port over my photos, I could port over my contacts, but I could not port over my apps.
Okay.
And the thing about that is, number one, I've had to reset my Facebook profile password at least 25 times since I've had Facebook because of people trying to log in or whatever. And Facebook just decides, okay, after a certain amount of logins, you have to change your password, no matter what happens. So I don't know that login. The social media Twitter handle I run, I don't know that login because it's been logged into Twitter on my phone since I got the new one. I have a Slack chat I use for my writing and social media coordinating job.
Ooh. See, I was about to say, yeah, that makes sense for a job.
So
'cause that
all
sounds
these
fancy.
apps that I'm already logged into, that I have messages that I've got saved, that I have settings preferred, all gone. Got to start from fresh. Got to find a way to get all these passwords reset and everything. Thankfully, it didn't take me too long to do.
I was just gonna
But
say,
in this day and age, I'm like, so you can unlock your phone with your goddamn ugly ass face, but you can't move apps from one phone to another without it being backed up. And if you're anyone like me, where you don't spend premium money on having that cloud space, because quite frankly, of all the shit I have on my phone that ends up getting ported to the cloud, it's mainly just fucking pictures of memes that don't need to be there anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
not shit that you need to say.
so now I have to start from scratch, where I have people who are hitting me up on Twitter, hitting me up on Facebook. None of them can get in contact with me because I don't have it set up yet.
Yeah.
I had to wait until I got to Nick's house to set up Wi-Fi. And that's kind of the maddening thing about technology these days. Is there's some things out there where it's like, that's really cool. That's awesome that they can do that. And then there's times where it's like, you can't fucking do this? Like, you can't...
Well, especially, too, if you have... Because if that's... Oh, God, this is going to fuck me up now. Because that new iPhone still runs on 4G.
I think so, yeah.
Right? It's not 5G yet.
Yeah.
5G is going to be the new Galaxy that comes out. I think that, if I'm not mistaken, that's going to be the first phone to run off 5G.
Yeah.
Which, sounds like 30 times more amazing, but it's probably going to be just the fucking same thing.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that many people realize the big difference between like 3 and 4G.
Yeah.
Just 4G lasted longer. So I
Yeah.
think people are like, oh, 4G, oh, bigger number. That must
I
be
can't
cool.
wait for 13G. Yeah.
This is gonna be really cool, but but yeah, so yeah, I still find that funny that you had to hook up to Wi-Fi as opposed to just running off 4G.
Yeah, it's because Facebook was too large a download on its own. So,
okay. I do get that, because
the
then
only
it doesn't want to fuck with your
but
plan.
like that's the thing that I don't understand is like Facebook is something where almost every app you can log into that app through your Facebook.
Yeah, through
hooked up.
Facebook, everything's like integrated.
My
now.
Tinder, my Grindr, my Bumble, like all those I can hook up through
Pornhub,
Facebook.
all
Pornhub.
of it. All of it's through Facebook.
Yeah.
Imagine, because you know how many times now, like in the past like year or two, it's been like, hey, fucking Daniel's watching blah 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 on Netflix. How fucking great would it be if it was just, hey, Brian's watching Backdoor Sluts 9 on porn.
I was actually just thinking, I have a funny story about that too. But,
here we go.
But can you imagine, like, you see like Brother Fuck Sister 2015?
Oh my god!
And then you comment on it, and it's a picture of me holding out holding out my hand for the little kid giving me the ring at Gav's wedding.
The profile pic.
Yeah, my profile picture. I was Eric Gavlik. So Gavlik wants to be on our podcast.
That totally makes sense. That
yeah.
totally
So
makes sense.
anyway,
shout out to Gavlik.
I was best man for my friend Gavlik. I was this best man B at his wedding, which we'll get back. I'll get into that.
That's a
later.
That's a whole
other rabbit hole. But yeah,
that's a whole different story.
So my profile picture is me dressed to the nines, like crouching down. It was a beautiful moment. This ring bearer kid was like probably like 3 years old. He didn't know what the hell he was
Cute
doing.
little kid.
So like I crouched down to like beckon him towards me, and like they got a perfect picture of like the kid walking up towards me crouching down, me managing to actually look
have a decent face.
Yeah.
You pulled a decent face.
Yeah, I have a good face on.
It was good.
Great profile picture. So you can only imagine like being on Pornhub and seeing that comment on some crazy grungy fucking...
or just to like any fucking or any like parent that has their kids as
no
their profile picture. Oh my god. That'd be so fucked. But I just think that'd be so fucking funny, like if it just got to the point now where like anytime like you go through like any of your apps now, you know how like it always says like anytime you even log on a website now, it'd be like, hey, check out like your like, oh, this website uses cookies, like is that okay? Like you just get so many notifications now, like you just don't give a fuck. It's like the terms and service for like iTunes.
Yeah.
And you're just like, yeah, whatever, like fuck off. And then turns out like next time you're on Pornhub, they're like, by the way, like you're gonna get updates on every social media outlet. That's the only way to be able to watch these videos for free without paying for Pornhub Premium like a fucking
Funny
freak.
enough, I had a friend get caught doing that with Daily Motion. For a while there, Daily Motion would do that.
Can we just talk about how ironic Daily Motion next to porn?
Yeah. I remember I was in high school, or I think it was high school or shortly after high school, but a friend of mine was in New Jersey, was watching porn on Daily Motion. But the funny thing was...
By the way, that's not even news.
Yeah.
Just someone in New Jersey watching porn. That's just a day in New Jersey.
Yeah.
It's just...
Yeah, he was watching porn on Daily Motion, which Daily Motion had a thing where if you logged into it and you let it, it would post whatever video you were watching onto your Facebook
fucking
photo.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh
my God.
Oh, Jesus
I have a less fucked up story about that.
By all means.
So Spotify is another one of those great apps where you can sign in on using Facebook. And the nice thing about that is if you're logged in on Facebook on your phone, you don't have to create a new login. It just goes, you just click it, you go into Facebook, you authorize Facebook to log in on your behalf, and you're good.
That's dope.
So that's nice.
That's very dope. Also, Brian's working on becoming a spokesperson for Facebook / Spotify.
Mark Zuck hit me up.
Yeah.
So
the Zuck man.
So I had a friend who was like going through some financial troubles, like not like she was going to get kicked out of her place, but she really didn't have money for like anything other than groceries and getting to and from work and paying her rent.
So she's going to start selling pictures of her feet on the internet.
Exactly.
Okay.
She was pretty close to that. But
okay.
So we worked opposite shifts most of the time.
Okay.
So I just said, hey, you know what? Like, you go to the gym at like 2 a.m. at night. Mm-hmm. I go to the gym during the day. Here's my Spotify. You can use it when you're at the gym. I don't care. Mm-hmm. So the problem was I didn't realize at the time that Spotify did this, but whatever they were listening to on Spotify posted right to my Facebook. So people would see me in the morning at 2 a.m. in the morning on a Tuesday listening to Britney fucking Spears or fucking like Hanson. And I would be like, and then I'd get messages like, Brian, are you all right? Like, what's going on with you? And
you've listened to Toxic 57 times. What's going on? And then followed by Mbop. We don't.
And it would go from like me listening to like some rap like a few hours earlier to me just jumping into this.
Yeah.
And then like Brian Adams at 3 a.m. People are like, are you suicidal?
Like, what's going on? Jesus Christ! Yeah, the phones are taking over. Yes. I think we're both past the early 20s phase of now where we're old. So now we're old as fuck now. That's just what happens.
There,
yeah, we're old as fuck now. So now phones are the devil. All technologies, like what the fuck's happening? Everything's linked.
We can be a better generation than that. Let's be honest.
Oh, 1,000,000%. I mean, we're already, first of all, updating phones and still. I mean, Jesus Christ, we're recording a podcast.
Yep.
So we're already on a better track.
Take that, take that, baby boomers.
That's the way to immediately clap back.
Yeah.
Oh God. Well, speaking of phones, because obviously you had such a big phone problem. I have another phone thing to actually rant about, and this was gonna be my major topic of the day. I don't even know if we're gonna go into it that much. So Brian, I ranted about this a lot to pretty much everybody else with an ear, but I haven't talked about this with you a lot, and you've seen me do this a couple times, actually, ironically enough. So I have 2 big app games on my phone. So the big 2 are Fire Emblem Heroes and then Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, and they're essentially gacha games. And for anybody that doesn't know what gacha games are, I don't know. Do you know what gacha games are?
I have a vague idea based on what you've said.
Yeah. So essentially, gacha games are, hey, there's new characters that come out that fucking for like whatever type of game that you're playing, like buff fucking like you can make a team of them or do like for Fire Emblem for example, like you can make a team of like fucking what is it? You can make like a team of like 4 people, and like Dragon Ball Z, you can make a team of 6 people to like do shit, and they all have different abilities and fucking all this shit. Anyway. The whole reason it's gacha is based on a thing in Japan, where pretty much you're rolling off an essentially loot box system to be able to pull these characters.
Like Overwatch.
Exactly, yeah. So imagine, but even worse. So imagine Overwatch, but you couldn't even play as Tracer unless you pulled Tracer out of a loot box.
But I'm already Tracer.
I know. But I'm already Widowmaker. But anyway, so like what's terrible is, and you know how much, like, I mean, both of us game, and, like, I love gaming, and it's something with gaming that's, like, hurting it so much. Like, it's fucking up. But it's only through mobiles. It's not like it's happening on real consoles yet, so I still consider that, like, okay. But my biggest problem is I can't stop playing it. Like, I have... Because, first of all, I love Dragon Ball Z. Like, I mean, I've been in the fandom for fucking 86 years. And Dokkan Battle is 30 times worse. Like, 1,000,000 times worse than Fire Emblem. Like, Fire Emblem, I could technically not spend money and be totally okay in that game. I just actually spend money in that game because I do support it, and it does cool stuff. Like, it's just like how you, like, if we're going back to Overwatch, it's exactly how you would buy loot boxes and be like, yeah, I'm gonna get a couple because this season has some dope fucking outfits, and I'm totally okay. That's where you always base the weight of, like, I don't have to spend this money, but I want to because it's fucking worth it. Yeah. We're fucking adults. Yet again, we're old fucks now. We're old fucks now, so we can debate our money properly. Yeah. But Dokkan goes a little bit too far. They go like, hey, by the way, you have to pull this character or you're going to suck dick. Everyone thinks you suck dick, and we're all going to fucking publish.
Is that what it says in the captions?
It does in a very different way. It goes like, hey, pull this cool new fancy unit, but more of the story, like, every time what Dokkan does, because they're fucking terrible with it, and I still play it, so first, just to start this, I'm the biggest fucking hypocrite of all time.
Yes.
But they pretty much go like, hey, by the way, this new character is meta-breaking. Like, it's gonna fucking destroy the meta and fucking break everything. And if you don't have it, you're gonna be completely fucking outdated, you're gonna get obliterated, and everyone's gonna think you're shit.
Wow.
Yeah, so they pretty much do that, and then on top of it, now this is where the fucking whole point is shitty. Then what they even do on top of that is they go, hey, like, you're also playing Fire Emblem, and their rates are pretty good. Like you started about like a 3% base rate to pull the unit, and they give you free summons right out the gate on Fire Emblem. That's fucking dope. Like, that's so cool. What does Dokkan Battle do? Oh, yeah, we'll give you like 2.5 to start. We never increase the rate. And you're just going to have to keep spending money to pull it. And yet again, just to recap, if you don't pull it, we're going to think you're a fucking loser, and we hate you.
So, for those of you who might understand Overwatch, it would be like Overwatch dropping a brand new character without correcting them. Like, getting the balancing in, and you not being able to play them without spending money.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Or, just any multiplayer based game. Even single-player game. Like, even take this concept, like, even for like anybody who doesn't understand, take a Final Fantasy game and you literally couldn't unlock everybody in your whole party unless you paid money for it.
Jesus.
And it's even a chance to be able to unlock that unit. You don't even get a 100% chance even if you put money in. Yep, welcome to it. So
fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, so moral of the story, I have a terrible gambling addiction. It's really bad. But the reason why I brought all of this up, because I really ranted about this for longer than I wanted to, but the whole thing about it is I'm trying to stop. At least I still want to play the game because I'm obviously a gamer. I'm going to keep gaming of stuff that I want to do. But I definitely have to cut back on the money that I'm spending on like some stupid-esque shit like that because that's very extra money. But what I was bringing up to you was, is there any like dumb... Because that one's the biggest one, at least for me. I have a couple others, but is there any like really stupid, dumb habit? Like, it doesn't have to be anything. It's not like, oh my god, like I need to fucking... Because like I have another thing of like I need to find a better job, but like that's not. I'm thinking more on a lower scale of like, is there any fucking dumb shit that you do?
I want to come back to that with you too later.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I have two things that you mentioned that I want to bring back.
Oh okay, definitely. Oh good.
Bad habits. Let's see. Number one. So to give you guys some background, Nick works at GameStop currently. I did. I worked at GameStop for. If you count the times that I worked part-time and worked about 1 or 2 days in the holidays for the free employee discount and the sign-out privileges.
Yeah, you did.
7 years.
Yep. Yeah, you put in the time. We also met at GameStop.
Yes, we did.
That's a whole separate story that we will do on a different podcast.
Yeah.
Cool.
I worked at GameStop. When I started there, I loved Halo. I loved Call of Duty.
Yeah,
I loved all the shooters. I didn't really like Madden when I started, but I wasn't really into football as much as I am now. Now I'm like, made a huge 180 on that. Working at GameStop absolutely destroyed my love for a lot of the mainstream video games. It's not because they're not good. It's just because I played them so much and talked about them so much, hyped them so much, that I could not get into them. Like that now... For a while there, the only games I liked were games like Vanquish, games like Bayonetta.
Yeah,
because they were just fucking different. Like they were fun. I could sit down, play them for like an hour or two, feel like I had a good, solid gaming experience. Where like a game like Skyrim, I love Fallout 3. Fallout 3 is the only Fallout game I've ever played to completion.
Okay.
Because
Fallout 3. On a side note, Fallout 3. Tied with BioShock Infinite is my favorite game on 360.
Okay. So, yeah, that's good.
Just saying.
Yeah, BioShock, even during my GameStop days, I still love that one too. So
amazing.
I lost the ability to really get into and get immersed into a video game like Skyrim or Fallout 4 or Fallout New Vegas because it required so much of my time.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was on like a burnout with video games where like I didn't want to do that. I would rather go out and have a social life.
On a quick side note though too, by the way, you have been a little bit lucky. There really hasn't been a game since those that has made that much immersion. I would only probably say Witcher. Yeah. Witcher 3 is probably the only other game that like, holy fuck, I have to actually act like the minute I put in this disc, I have to dedicate a portion of my life to it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, most other ones we can get through pretty quick. The only other series I would say is maybe Dark Souls.
Yeah.
But that's because, like, you have to get the learning curve.
Yeah, you have to get good at that game.
Yeah, you have to get good at it, which is different.
So,
oh yeah,
but now I work a job where, you know, for a while, even like I'm still doing pretty good now, but for a while when like my house bills were all being equally covered by everybody, I could just buy a game when I wanted to. Like back when I worked at GameStop, I really couldn't do that. I usually had to trade in games. I usually had to drive to a store and do it. I usually had to use my employee discount.
Yeah.
I usually had to sign a game out.
You had to hustle like a motherfucker.
And where now, like, if there's a game where I'm like, oh, that looks cool, I'll buy it. Like, I did that with Anthem. I remember, like, all of my friends were hyping up Anthem because they were playing it. I watched, like, 5 minutes of YouTube clip video stuff on it. I was like, yeah, that looks like a game I'd enjoy, and I fucking bought it. I spent $80 just like that. I don't, but that's the problem is, like, it's not that I haven't been able to afford to do that, but I did that with so many games. I bought God of War, the new God of War, right out the gate.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Have barely played it.
You should.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, that's one. That's one. I totally fucked up on that. Red Dead is one you
played the first mission, haven't gone back to it. Like, my issue is that now, like, it almost seems like a chore to go back and get myself immersed again into the video game. Like, I just spend that money thinking, you know what? Maybe this will be a game where I'll get immersed in. And Overwatch is really the only one that's done that. But that was because when I first played it, we had a ton of people over at my house who got all just hooked up our consoles in the living room. That's probably why I loved it.
Well, that one too. That one's a lot different too because it's all multiplayer based. So like that's a lot easier for you to jump in.
Yeah.
And you never have to feel afraid. Like you never have to be intimidated by the story.
Yeah.
You can jump in for 20 minutes, play it, and then not. You're never gonna miss out.
Yeah.
You're never gonna miss out on
the only thing with a game like that, and that's part of why I can't play games like Call of Duty anymore, is that you really have to like be on the top of your game to really have fun.
100%.
Like, so
I agree with that.
Overwatch is one where I was content to like hop on with my friends, hone my crafts, become good with a lot of different characters. But yeah, that's my bad habit. I spent out the gate money on God of War, Red Dead Redemption, Anthem over the last few months, and I haven't played more than an hour.
Well, I will say this. So here's the thing. So Red Dead, I'll totally give you a mulligan on.
Yeah.
Because I've actually, so it's actually funny. I can talk about this with you, and I haven't been able to talk about this with most. So Red Dead actually kind of burned me a little bit. So everybody gave it like phenomenal reviews and stuff, and I'm not bashing how good the game is at all, but I, honest to God, really trudged through the game. Like, I did not play the game enjoying it for a very good portion of the game. Like, there's most of the game where I went, oh, fuck, I have to, like, get back into this game. Because, like, the biggest problem that I had was, I think it's, like, the first 6 hours. Or no, longer. I think it's, like, the first, like, 10 hours. You can't fast travel.
Yeah.
And that is so fucking annoying. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, on horseback, that is so fucking annoying.
Especially with the missions where you gotta follow somebody and they're walking a snail's pace.
Like, and, like, the thing is, too, though, the dialogue and everything is so good. I just think, and this might sound really terrible to say it this way, because I've been having this experience a lot this year with gaming has completely thrown what I've been doing with gaming for a very long time. But like Red Dead, like near the end of last year, I kept having this issue of like it was the one game I had to turn everything off. I couldn't be on my phone. I couldn't like watch a fucking like YouTube video while I'm playing because I usually do some of that shit. You know, I like multitask with that. Like, I couldn't do anything. I literally had to, like, put a fucking high-end headset on, have double headphones, listen to what was happening, and just fully get into the experience. And it wasn't a bad thing, and I'm glad that a game actively kind of slaps gamers in the face nowadays. It goes, hey, here's my fucking attention. Get fucking into it. But
it's like a girlfriend, yeah.
Exactly, yes, exactly. Which was nice based on me semi-recently being single. But it was very refreshing. And so this leads into the stuff for the new year. So I've gotten super bummed out, like horrifically bummed out by 2 big games. I'll go into more of those on different podcasts, but like just to at least intro them. So Jump Force, which came out, which was all anime based, fucking kawaii.
I heard that one was disappointing.
It's fucking terrible. It's so bad, and it hurts. It fucking hurts my soul because I enjoy that type of stuff so fucking much, and it hurts me because it really was supposed to be good based on all the trailers and gameplay footage. It was supposed to be better than what than what we got. And the other one was Kingdom Hearts 3, which I literally never thought I would say out loud. I honest to God never. Like, if you would have asked me even a year ago, like, Nick, if Kingdom Hearts 3 came out and it was a piece of dog shit in the case, what would you think? I'd be like, it's fucking great. This is what Square Enix wants. Like, this is what they wanted the fans to get. But yeah, I'm legitimately done drinking the Kool-Aid, and now I'm pretty mad at it. But in between playing an old game that got HD remastered, which is Tales of Vesperia, which, another fun fact, is my like absolute favorite RPG of all time, which is crazy to say because I play a lot of them. But my absolute favorite RPG of all time. So I'm replaying that, and then in the midst, I bought Resident Evil 2. So I was in almost the same boat that you're in. So I bought Resident Evil, and then a week later, Kingdom Hearts 3 dropped. So I was like, well, I could play Resident Evil and start to get into it, but when I start, there's no way I'm going to finish it. And on top of that, I'd have to death race to finish it. And I don't want to do that because I don't want to rush the game. I want to enjoy it. So what the fuck am I going to do? Because Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out. So yeah, so I intentionally avoided playing it even though I bought it. So I didn't play it at all. Played through Kingdom Hearts 3, 100%ed it. And then that's when I was like, yep, I don't like this anymore. And then so I got through that. And then finally I picked up Resident Evil 2. And I am starting to play it now, and I'm actually enjoying it. Because I'm exactly in the same boat as you are. There's sometimes I'll pick up games, I'll get maybe like a couple hours in, or maybe even further, like maybe even like 15 hours in. But honest to God, on most occasions, if it's longer than like 2 months, this might sound crazy to some people, but if it's been like 2 months, I will honest to God just start the game over. Because nothing gives me, like, it's not anxiety, but like nothing is more, I'll just say off-putting. Nothing's more off-putting than like starting up a game and then being like, fuck, where am I?
Yeah.
Fuck, what are the controls? Like, fuck, like, shit, I did learn this combo. Now I don't know the fucking special, like, god damn it, like, fuck, like, you just forget fucking everything that, like, you knew about the thing, and it's fucking infuriating.
Yeah, especially with how oversaturated gaming is nowadays. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Oh, another thing. This is a subject I completely forgot to bring up, but we should talk about it.
Okay.
Because you hit me up a couple days ago asking about this, and we were back and forth on it. So you and me have a very similar thing, at least in this aspect, that we fucking hate when shit gets like super popular and then fucking like dips out. Or I'm sorry, when shit's super popular. So Apex Legends came out, since we're talking about gaming. And it's a free to play battle royale, which first, like, just on paper, to sound completely unbiased, is a great thing. More gamer, like, I'm glad Fortnite legitimately does have competition when it comes to free to play battle royale. I was tired of people just talking about Fortnite all the time. Fortnite. So I'm glad that happened. But what I don't fucking appreciate is everyone losing their fucking mind. Like, this thing is the second fucking coming of Christ. Because I'm sorry, it's a good game. It's a very good game. That's free, especially being free, like, for putting no money into this game. It is very fucking solid.
Yes, it is.
But
100%.
it is not breaking any barriers. It hasn't given me a story or lore where I've been like, since you brought up Overwatch. Overwatch is a game that, even just being multiplayer, there's lore shit that I'm like, first of all, they gave us where I'm like, this is awesome.
Yep.
And on top of it, I want to know more. I want to know more lore shit. I've read like most of the comics. Yeah. I've watched a lot of the offline fucking movies and shit, or like videos.
Yeah.
And I'm like into that. But like, I'm sorry, like, people are fucking losing their fucking shit over this, and it's just ridiculous. It's fucking insane. It's insane how much people are losing their shit over this. It fucking blows my goddamn mind.
Yeah, and it's not even like, it's a battle royale free-to-play game, fine, but there's so many battle royals out there these days, too.
Yeah, there's like, so fucking many. And, like, I got shit from my roommate and fucking our mutual friend Grant.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Grant. I love you. But no, he gave me so much shit because, at least when it comes to battle royales, which... You were bringing up Call of Duty. My favorite battle royale is Black Ops 4 with Blackout, and I would never thought I'd say that because I haven't played a Call of Duty since Modern Warfare 2 before Black Ops 4 or Black Ops 4. Yeah. But I got into Black Ops 4 because the multiplayer, first of all, really fucking good. Mm-hmm. A lot of my buddies got into it, so I was like, yeah, I'll definitely check it out, and I enjoyed it. But yeah, dude, the Blackout mode is fucking clean. It's really good, and on top of it, I just enjoy. This is gonna sound weird. Like, when I'm shooting enemies in that game, it just feels like I'm actually doing something. Yeah. And Blackout, I think, is the only battle royale that I've played where almost every match when I've played it, I've been like, oh, I understand why I died. Like, that guy had armor. Or, oh, that guy did snipe me from 20 feet away, and, like, I know what happened. But, like, every other battle royale I've played, is literally just like,
it's fucking chaos.
what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
I shot the dude point blank 55 fucking times. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I just don't fucking understand it. So,
right.
Yeah, I don't know. And like, here's the thing. Anybody playing Apex Legends, good. It's a good fucking thing. Keep playing it. Like, I'm not bashing the game. I'm just bashing everyone's over dramatic fucking hype on it. Which I feel bad about too. I'm very torn. It's such a double-edged sword for me now of like, I love gaming so much, and I feel shitty at any point in time bashing anyone for enjoying games. But it's like, fuck you. It's like, come on, like, we can make a better, like, I don't even know how to put it, but like, I feel like there's just a better movement to be made on games.
Here's the thing, and this is the reason why I've never really gotten into battle royale games. It's that people have to put in a pretty good amount of time just to get good at the game, and it's different from like playing a game like Overwatch, where you can hop in with some friends, kind of get like, okay, you should pick this role, try a lot of things out. The way Apex works is like, the first several games I played, like, I did have fun, but like, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I'd run up on an enemy and like, I'd be like, okay, I have the jump on them, I'd be aggressive, and then I'd die because I had better equipment than me. And it's like, the amount of time you have to put in to actually be good at that game is like, I get why gamers enjoy it. I just don't enjoy that myself. Like,
oh, totally.
If you're gonna make a game that's very skill based, a game like Overwatch, give us the ability to like jump into matches and play local with friends. Like, that was how I got good at Overwatch. It was our friend's birthday. Everybody came over. We all had Overwatch. It was even the reason I bought the game, was that we had like 10 people over to play Overwatch, maybe more, and we just fucking sat there. I picked up Reinhardt. I was like, this guy's got a hammer, I'm gonna use him. And I just fucking, to this day, I'm almost diamond level Reinhardt main because I picked up the game and started with him, because there was a way for me to progress that was fun. Where like, I don't enjoy jumping into a battle royale game and getting my shit kicked in for an hour and a half, 2 hours. I don't enjoy going and playing when I already have a short attention span for video games. I don't enjoy going in playing for an hour or 2 hours or so and just not killing anything, not knowing what I'm doing and all that jazz. Like, so that was kind of my beef with that kind of game. It's just that it's...
No, I agree. I mean, even going on another thing, like, lately I've been getting so mad because... And I do this, so I'm not even mad. I don't want to generalize this, but I do this way more. Like, every time I'm gaming now, because typically when I do play, I play for about like even honestly on average, I play at least like a 4 or 5 hour session. Like, most times I turn on the console, I'm pretty dedicated. And so like, I'll turn it on, I'll start playing, but like, I always have either like a YouTube video or I'll always have something going on. And like, if you like, back when it was fucking, I don't know, and I'm not trying to make this sound like a nostalgia trip, but like, back even like on fucking PS2 and GameCube.
Yeah.
Fuck that. You didn't fucking put... I mean, we also didn't have videos on our phones, so that's why... I mean, right out the gate, it was a lot, easier. But, like, at the same time, like, I don't know. Like, I still debate with that now of, like, do you think games still would have captured your attention just as much if you would have had all that shit around you? Or do you think you would have been, like take yourself, like, 10 years back.
Yeah.
Do you, honest to God, think, like, you would have been YouTubing and, like, fucking having, like, a podcast on or some shit while you're playing? Or do you, honest to God, think, like, it still would have captured your attention, like, 100%?
That's a tough question to answer.
Yeah, totally. Oh, yeah. It's not
back 10 years ago, yeah, but... part of it was because I didn't have as much going on in my life as I do now.
I feel you.
Where like
you're adulting now.
Yeah,
so.
Where like my phone could go off, somebody could be yelling at me, somebody could want my attention, something could be happening with the Panthers where I need to suddenly type up an article.
Yeah.
I could just be hitting people up to see what's going on tonight. Where back when I was 18, and really when I got into gaming was like as a kid. Yeah. It's like there was less shit going on.
Totally.
But at the same time.
I do love the priority list of, like, you had a lot of important stuff, but, like, your second thing was someone's yelling at me.
Yeah.
Like, I love how it was just, there might be stuff going on, someone's yelling at me, like, that's like, pretty up there of common occurrences.
I think I still could, and I think I still do. It's just a matter of that, like, again, I'm a little jaded as a gamer because I just don't spend the amount of time I used to as I did
100%.
as a kid. But like there are games out there that have captured my attention for a really long time.
Well, you were playing Spider-Man, like
yeah,
legit?
Spider-Man. I played the shit out of that. I beat it within a week.
That's what I was gonna say. And same here. That was one I like played, and yeah,
that one was immersive, but it also made it fun to get from point like. The traversal, the thing that I loved about Spider-Man, I think they should do more single-player games like this, is like from the get-go, it was fun. It wasn't okay, we gotta set up this story, you gotta walk, like, that was my big thing with Red Dead, was like for the first, like, for the first bit of the gameplay, you're just sitting there, they're building up the story, which is good. Rockstar is really big on their narratives, and I appreciate that.
100%. Because when anything happens in that game, you feel some type of emotional pull because of how much they tie you to the characters.
Yeah,
which I do agree, but it's a double-edged sword.
But it is a double-edged sword in the sense that, like, when you get people who are sitting down to play the game for an hour, they won't feel like they've done anything either. Where, like, Spider-Man, I could just jump in. As soon as the game started, I'm fucking web-slinging. The web-slinging is great. Yep. I go beat up some baddies, and I think I played my first session for, like, an hour and a half, which is a lot longer than I usually play games anymore. So... yeah, I think that in the right experience, I would still be doing it the same way, but it's just tough to make that call because I spent the entirety of my late high school to early college working with video games every single fucking day.
Yep.
So,
and I was just gonna say, it's so funny too because like I'm still in that boat like at the current moment, and it's very funny too because like. I would love to say that the job helps me do that, but it's like the complete opposite. No. I literally do it to feel like... I do it in my off time so much still now to feel like a gamer because of how much the job is lacking.
Whenever you got those people who come in, like, Call of Duty was not killed by Call of Duty. Like,
no.
I will say every Call of Duty game was at least a good game that came out, even though they 100%. Were throwing them out every year for a while.
They were copying and pasting a lot, but it was still a
good game.
It was a good game that was getting copied and pasted.
It was built on solid foundation.
There we go.
My issue was the derpy fucking kids who came in buying Call of Duty, or the people who barely spoke English, and not because they were from a different country coming in to buy Call of Duty. Mm-hmm. Just talking to people who just utterly pissed me off. It just turned me off to even playing those games.
It's just the fan base. The fan base fucks up everything. Like, in general.
I don't know if you want to go any further on that, but that actually makes a good transition to something I wanted to bring up.
By all means, because I was talking about a lot of shit that you wanted
to bring up. No, it's okay. So I actually have a couple of real life things that I even just thought about today, oddly enough, but I think they're applicable to what we're doing now.
Okay.
So I know you mentioned that you're looking for a new job, obviously, and so I don't want this to seem like I'm coming at you, but it's something where I think it would be good to put it out there for people who are looking to move up in jobs.
No,
definitely. So here's a good example. I called you earlier because I was freaking out because my phone was messed up and I didn't have Messenger. I didn't know if you still had my number or not.
Yep.
I get put to voicemail and it's like, "Hey Nick, you know what to do," or whatever.
Voicemail.
Oh, and I know that you might in fact be looking for new jobs, and you might have interviews coming up soon.
Yes,
which not confirmed.
Yes, which means I should
change your voicemail. But I think that but I run into that a lot with people who are like doing those jobs where it's not meant to be a career; it's meant to just like be a transitional job.
Yes,
I see that a lot with people our age. Where like that's kind of the problem really these days with millennials, and I'm just as bad with a lot of things, but like. If you're in a job where you don't want to do it anymore, you should be, number one, actively looking for a new job. Even if you find an opportunity and you don't take it, you should still be getting your name out there.
Totally.
But on the flip side, you should also not jump from job to job to job, because that's actually not very.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
it's not. When people look at it, they automatically
see somebody who joins a new job. Yep. And can't deal with whatever the stresses are and moves to another job. When every job really sucks. Like there's very few jobs that are...
Every job has its flaws.
Yeah, there are some people who are lucky enough to do what they do for a living and make enough money to live. Good, but they probably didn't start doing that.
100%.
So
totally agree with that.
So these are like just some essential job tips for a lot of the friends that I know. Because
that's very good advice,
I
should change it. It's been I've had that one for
but it was just I thought of it as I was driving here. I was like, if they called him, they may not give him a call back if they got
that'd be so good to get another phone call. Or I just call them and I go, "Hey, like what the fuck? Like what happened?" They go, "Oh, well, like your voicemail was stupid as fuck. So we didn't fucking call you, goddamn." Oh, you know who it is, and they just hang up on me. It's like, God damn it. Shit.
But yeah, like it's a tough transition
job.
for a lot of us because the job market is very. Our parents aren't really all that helpful anymore with helping us find a job because like. Back in their day and age, it was just go get a job and make money.
It's so different.
Go get a job, like build your resume, like go in, follow up with them when you apply. Yeah. Go like walk in there.
Always make sure you shoot them the follow up call. Yeah. And like it's so different now. I mean, I even noticed this a little bit too.
You're a manager at GameStop. You know this.
I was just even going to say too. Even when I'm taking and doing interviews for people now, the whole even setup of just doing that is different. Even from when I got hired. Like, I know what you're even talking about, though, of, like, our generation beforehand, especially with our parents, was like, yeah, there's a whole different way to be like, as long as you were proactive, you could get a job. Like, back in the day, it was like, if you don't be lazy, you could pick up a fucking job. But it's so much more difficult now. And I think on top of it, too, I'm not trying to get into, like, this whole thing.
No, we should.
But, no, this whole subject. But the one thing I'm going to bring up of, like, I think why a major reason, too, is, like, amount of income. Like, minimum wage right out the gate, at least for Pennsylvania, is still $7.25. And like fucking people cannot and will not make a fucking living off that. Like it's fucking impossible.
No,
there's no fucking way. So like already right out the gate, when a lot of people are looking at jobs, income in general is fucking huge. So like on top of that, it's just trying to fucking find the right spot. And I brought this up to you like this is probably fucking weeks ago. I don't know if you remember me saying this, but I definitely feel like now if you're really trying to get any type of fucking legitimate career, like not just a job, not a fucking like I'm in an in-between shit right now and I've been there for a while, but like just anybody who's trying to build up a fucking legitimate career, like you fucking have to know somebody. Like you have to fucking know somebody to know somebody. Like you can't just fucking look at what the fuck am I trying to think of? You can't just look at like Monster or fucking oh my god, why can't I think of
Glassdoor?
Yes, you can't look at the fucking like resume fucking websites and just be like, or fucking jobfind.com and be like, where the fuck do I want it? Like, it doesn't fucking work that way anymore.
No. The basically, like, here's the problem that a lot of people run into, and it's tough because it's really hard to make these transitions. But, like, nowadays, instead of you being just walking into a place and getting a job, you usually have to apply online, number one. Mm-hmm. A lot of times, you don't even meet anybody in person before you even get interviewed.
That's very true.
Like, so your resume has to stand out, which is number one. And right away, there are places that will just flat out decline your resume if they don't think there's any long-term commitment, unless they just have a ton of turnover. At which point they're just looking to fill a position anyway. Mm-hmm. So some people think like I need to make more than minimum wage, therefore I can't take this job. But like at some point, you have to build a work history. And you have to start somewhere. Like I got really lucky. I'm not gonna lie. I walked into GameStop, and this was in Kentucky, where...
you moved around a lot.
Yeah, I was in Kentucky. I was 16 years old. I was applying for my first job. I went in there, and I followed up with them. And it was funny. They actually lost my application. So
They did for fucking... Oh, my God. I have a whole thing about how I first got hired there. Jesus
they lost
Christ.
my application. So it actually made it better that I did follow up, because they actually did lose my application. It wasn't just that they... put it in a pile and no one had reviewed it yet.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting a job because the guy was like, well, hey, I have a few minutes. Let's walk next door. So we walked over to Subway, sat down, had an interview.
There you go.
And they gave me a job. And I worked there from high school into my early 20s.
Yeah.
And
I was just going to say
when I started, and then of course, as you brought up, knowing somebody. I knew the person who hired me at GameStop went over to Wells as a teller. She wanted me to come work with her as a teller. I just wanted to get the fuck out of GameStop because I felt like I wasn't moving anymore.
Yeah.
And I moved to Wells, and then I worked there for a while, and then I built up a lot of people that I knew through connections. I met a lot of people through business and just like general work and
moved up from there. Yeah.
And then I knew somebody who put in a recommendation, but like that's the thing is like some people just sit there and say, you have to know somebody. Well, I don't know anybody, but that's not something where you have no control over.
No, of course. That's totally a good bring up too. Like 100%. Like you have to still put yourself out there. Like you can't just use that as like, even when I bring that up too, like that's not an excuse. Like that's even my point. Like my point now of like I'm still trying to like put myself out there and fucking market and fucking apply to other spots and talk to people like legit and legitimately talking to people, not just like fucking shooting the shit and just being like, hey.
Yeah.
Where the fuck are you working? Like, what the fuck do you... Like, I mean, like, legitimately trying to get shit out there.
Like, even if you're not friends, if you're professional colleagues, because there's a lot of people where, like...
definitely.
There were a lot of people that I met where, like, it wasn't like we'd go out and have a drink after work, but, like, if we were working and something came up and we needed help or we needed to send somebody somewhere, we'd call each other, have a nice conversation, move on. It wasn't like I was going to hang out with that guy after work or ask him more than anything about his day, how his day was, but like you have to build those connections and then find a way to use them to your advantage. And that's unfortunately just the kind of the stupid ass game we play this day in the job market, because as you said, you do need to know somebody, but you have to also start somewhere.
Yeah, so, 100%. Because you have to have work experience.
And I've known a ton of people throughout my life where they would have a job, get fired or quit, thinking, oh, I'll just get a new job. But then they don't know anybody, they don't have any connections, they don't have a reference anymore because they left on bad terms, and then they end up not having a job for months. And it's like, you got to put the work in somewhere. And I'm fortunate because I had opportunities that were not really laid at my feet, but I jumped on them when they arose,
you
but I also built connections.
Hot. Yeah.
And that's kind of how you have to navigate the job market these days, unless you have an education. And even then, if you have an education, you're still competing with every other John, Dick, and Harry who comes out of college.
Dude, this is crazy. So, my little brother is just going into high school. We're 12 years apart, so he's just going into high school. And the fucking craziest thing, because my mom was telling me about this, because they had the whole, like before like the school starts and stuff, because I mean he's still in 8th grade and he's going in 9th, but they gave him a whole prep thing in between of like, hey, like here's what you need to get ready for, like you got to pick out your course selection, all the big like high school shit. But what was fucking bananas was they fucking outright told, like, multiple teachers when they were doing the orientation told the parents as well as the kids, you don't have to worry about college as much anymore. Like, they literally dead ass, which blew my fucking mind.
It's true, though.
Oh, 100%. But, like, I mean, you were at least one grade above me, maybe two. But at least we were in the boat, though, where, like, all throughout our high school was, hey, you have to get this shit on point because colleges are looking at, like, for us, that's all they talked about us with. Like, hey, you have to get your fucking, like, math grade up to this because they're fucking looking at your GPA, and that's the only way you're going to get into a good college. That was all we were badgered with.
Yeah,
so it's fucking banana. Like, all they told the fucking kids that are going to high school, at least in my local, fucking high school, but they told them, like, dead ass, like, hey, get into a trade school, learn a craft, make yourself, like, useful. That's how you get
that,
fucking
and that's
hired.
that's the thing that they didn't forecast because of the way our parents were brought up and how they felt about it. Like, nowadays, there's no skilled workers. There's people out there who have education but no job experience, and there's people who have job experience but no skills.
Yes.
And so it's really tough to navigate, and
it's interesting.
I see it all the time with people because they just never move forward with their lives. They just move from job to job to job. And sometimes they end up having a job where they make decent money, but then, like, they're just stuck there. Mm-hmm. They're stuck at that position. They might have a chance for a raise at some point, but, like, there's no incentive to pay them any higher than a certain threshold because they can bring somebody else in to replace them.
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of jobs, a lot of pickup jobs, like a lot of the in-between jobs are very trappy like that. Because you're always just still in the process of looking for another job, and as long as you just keep getting that little bit of a pay bump, that's always an incentive to keep staying there. So
I just wanted to bring that up because
it's a good bring up.
Because that, and obviously lock down your fucking social media because those HR ninjas will find you.
Oh,
so yeah. Like
Jesus Christ.
Even me, I still use my social media to post memes and stuff, but I almost never ever post about my job on there.
Oh, yeah, like, that totally makes sense.
I don't even associate with my actual living on Facebook. Like,
oh, totally.
They would know if they looked me up because I'm like the only person on the planet named Brian Beversluis.
Yeah, very true.
Like, so
both of us have very unique last names.
The other thing I wanted to bring up is just since we're on the discussion of just like practical stuff that I've learned. Fucking retirement, guys. Like,
oh. That's a good one.
I had a friend hit me up recently and just say, hey, so I finally have like actual money I can save. What should I do with it? And I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just somebody where people are like, oh, he works in finances. He probably knows what he's talking about.
Yep.
I'm not even paid to give recommendations to people. I just kind of go with, like, I ask them, what are they trying to do with it? What's their plan for it? And kind of just, give them whatever options they have.
Yeah, totally.
Pros and cons. But, like, what I've found with a lot of people my age who make decent money at that is that none of them have anything put away for the day they decide to retire.
Oof.
And we're all young and, like, I'm one person where I don't know if I'm ever going to live to being retired, but, like...
You just live so fucking on the edge, Brian.
But there's people who, like... There's people out there where they They're almost 30 now. They have nothing saved for retirement. Nothing. And the thing is that there's a lot of things out there that like most employers, like big time employers, are almost legally they're almost legally required to have something like that.
100%.
So it's just something where I'm not telling you how to do it, but you should look into it because like
that's a big deal. It's a big deal for people our age. No, I totally agree with that. Like honestly, it's really funny too because my boss actually brought that up to me. Yeah. I'm like, hey, by the way, like you should really get started on 401k. And it sounds terrible, but honest to God, I didn't tell her at the time. But yeah, the biggest reason for me, I was like, well, I don't want to start it here. Yeah. Just because I'm trying to work my way out.
And I get that. I wasn't even a slight on you, but yeah.
But yeah,
it was
just
I just
general.
see like
Totally.
I've worked with plenty of people who are my age who left the job that they were at. They end up taking the cash distribution because they're unemployed for a little bit, and they just decide to use it to help them move. And some people have to do that. I'm not criticizing people who choose to do that.
I mean, everybody gets hit with shit.
But like with your retirement stuff, you can always move it over. You can move it to a bank. You can move it to like a financial institution. You can maybe even sometimes roll it over to your new employer. And it's money that's hard as fuck to touch. Like it's money that's building up that has a lot of benefits. Yeah. But it's not easy to touch, and you usually get docked for spending it.
For fucking with it.
But like
that's good.
It's there for an extreme emergency, and it grows because it's money you can invest without. Like the thing about investing is that a lot of times there's costs to investing on your own. Like you can buy some stock out there, and you'll end up paying commissions and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Where like with your 401k plan, typically it's a lot cheaper. So like I'm not telling people, I'm not sitting here trying to make advice like recommendations. I'm just saying check out.
It's good advice.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if you're employed right now at a job that you've been at for more than a year, maybe look and see what if any retirement benefits they have, because you don't want to be in your 40s, like, you know, in good health and being like, well, shit, I'm starting to save for retirement now.
Fuck yeah. You don't want to be that late in the game.
Yeah, because your money can grow a lot, and just because it's invested money that you can't really touch, the only thing you can do is invest it, and there's just so many benefits to doing it. Look into it. If you have anybody you know who actually is a financial advisor, talk to them. Or you can talk to, if you have an HR company, if you have an HR for your company that handles this kind of stuff, talk to them. They'll tell you what the benefits are.
There you go.
Just, it sucks because there's going to be so many people our age where when we reach, like, we're all sitting here criticizing.
Oh, dude, yeah.
We're all sitting here criticizing the people that are like retiring now because they fucked up the housing market,
like our grandparents and shit.
They fucked up the housing market. They don't know how technology works, all this stuff. But we're all looking at, you know, not even getting out of debt until like very late in life, and then not having shit saved for once we actually have time, for once we like actually want to not work anymore.
100%.
And
dude, I have this whole hypothetical theory too. Not to like totally shift.
No, you're
like,
fine.
script.
That was about it for me.
The one thing that I'm actually like very interested to see is like when we're gonna be like the, you know, like we're like fucking with the older generation right now, but like when we're at that point, I honest to God think like it's just gonna be so interesting. And like at this moment we're complaining about the job market because the job market in our time right now is just very weird you know, of even 2019. But honestly, like I can't even wait to see like my brother try to step into the job market when he gets older, or like especially even too like the generation before them. Like, I mean, like, fuck, like, how many more fucking people do we know that are, like, doing just even some type of internet shit? Yeah. And that's how they're paying their bills. Like, you know what I mean? Which is, like, I'm not dissing that. That's amazing. That's fucking all, like, if you can do something that you love and work from home and fucking make enough money, that's fucking phenomenal. Like, I'm not dissing that at all.
That is the dream right now.
Exactly. That's 100% the dream. But, like, just even on top of that, like, how bananas is that going to be of like how some people find jobs, how the fuck some like even like I was even bringing up schools, there might even be like down the road, I wouldn't even be surprised if there was some fucking even at a high school level. I mean, I honest to God would hope even something like this would happen soon if technology keeps going the way it's going, of like some type of marketing class, or like, and I'm talking real fucking like here's how the fuck you set this up, like do you really want this long term, like just to get you in the fucking mindset. Like that stuff that I mean, like that might sound really silly to some people, but like I really think schools should fucking hop on that shit.
Well, that's the thing is a lot of people are out there right now who are getting paid for just going online and making YouTube videos because they get so many views.
Yep.
And there will eventually be like a way where there will be people who will make money off of teaching people how to do that, and then that's going to get crowded.
Exactly.
Like,
well, even like on
it's
Twitch
crowded
too.
now.
Like, Twitch.
Like,
well, that's the thing even too. Yeah, YouTube is so overcrowded that now the money is even becoming so tangled. And like, at least from what I've seen, and I'm very fucking outdated, but like, at least Twitch, at least for the moment, that in my opinion has seemed like the way more front runner when it comes to just someone wanting to make a name for themselves and like put themselves out there and then make money off it. Like, especially to make their own income and be their own boss.
Yes.
You know,
even still, like, a lot of people have to put a lot of money into getting their crap out there.
Oh,
like, it's not. There aren't many people anymore, like YouTubers, Twitch streamers, where like they haven't put significant capital into their brand.
Oh, 100%. And that's the thing too. And most people don't know, especially most of these kids are fucking doing this shit out of high school.
Yeah.
Nobody knows how to fucking brand yourself.
No.
Outside of fucking getting a high school diploma.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a fucking common sense thing to know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just crazy because I remember even like, I'd probably say like my sophomore or junior year, I kind of even hit the point, and I mean, Jesus Christ, I've been out of high school for almost 10 years now, which it sounds really fucking weird to say out loud. Yeah. Yep, we're getting old. So anyway, but just one thing, even back then, like fucking take 9 years ago or even longer, I was just constantly be like, why the fuck are we research? Like, why do we have to like study and know some of this stuff when it's stuff that I'm not going to go in a career for, like history, for example. Like, if I'm not going to go in a career for it, and I can always just look it up. Like, I literally have an encyclopedia of knowledge on my phone. Even back then, I had a fucking encyclopedia of knowledge on my phone. So I always just went to like, well, why can't we do that when we could just look it up? And like, I definitely, as I'm older, I definitely understand the importance of just even being able to retain and learn different things that you might not want to learn and fucking run with that. But like, at the same time though, like, there definitely should be some more, just even some type of, whether it's media or particularly like internet type on brand stuff that they should fucking go into. I just think it would be a smart idea.
No, it's something that they need to consider because, like, you know, you need to learn how to navigate the internet these days because like there's
you have to
you don't like
even for jobs like even if you're getting like any type of like office job or something like you literally have. I mean, they have requirements for what the fuck. You know, to fucking go on a goddamn internet browser and fucking look shit up. So
you need to be proficient in Excel. You need to be proficient in Microsoft.
Yeah,
Outlook.
Microsoft Office. Yeah. Just Office in general.
Yeah, but like even then, it's like just your general daily life. Like people go through, and they end up like a lot of people will formulate opinions based on bad stuff. Like just like bad articles, like clickbait, factually incorrect shit, and it's like. That's another problem is that like people are getting dumber because they're learning because they're not learning to navigate and form opinions of their own.
Yes,
we're so
100%.
We're so used to being told what to do by whether it was our parents, whether it was the media, the internet, Google. Where nowadays a lot of stuff there's not really a right answer to anything anymore.
And on top of that too, like it's so important. This happens to me all the time. Like even just in casual conversation. People do not fact check shit.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I'm in a fucking casual conversation with somebody and they'll just drop some fucking complete ignorant even, you know what? I'll even just talk about it at my job. At my job, people will fucking drop ignorant fucking knowledge. Like, there was one, I'm just going to bring up a very small example. Some guy was trying to buy a PlayStation VR and was trying to tell me that he did not need a camera to be able to use it. Now, what made the whole situation 30 times funnier was, honest to God, our fucking Sony rep was in the fucking store and actually jumped in and was trying to also clarify it with him. Like, hey, by the way, like, just to let you know, you do need a camera to be able to use the VR. And he was like, yeah, no, but I saw online someone do it without it. And she was like, well, I don't know who the fuck that is, but like, I'm just telling you. And then he was like, well, who the fuck are you? And she's like, bitch, she didn't say that. She was like, bitch, I'm the motherfucking goddamn rep of Sony, so I'm pretty fucking sure I know
I get
what
paid
the fuck.
to do this.
Yeah, I literally get paid by the fucking company to tell you what does and doesn't
God.
work. So it's just so fucking funny. But I do the same thing all the time. Like, and that bothers me a lot because I'm usually the person that, especially at work, in social settings, it's a lot different because I don't know a lot of shit. I'm very dumb. But when it comes to work, I know games, like in particular. So when people drop fucking ignorant knowledge of like, oh, I thought this was on this platform or fucking this, it's like, no, that's not true. And then they'll be like, what? And I'm like, no, like, I know this. This is not a thing. I'm guessing.
Not opinion.
Yeah, this is not a puff piece. This is me literally just trying to give you some real fucking, not even advice, facts.
I'm trying to help you survive in this world.
They just tell me some ignorant shit. I'm like, wow, mouth breathing must be so fucking hard. Like, god damn it.
I'm surprised you haven't passed out from trying to blink and breathe at the same time. Oh my god.
They're just constantly just like just trying to fucking blanket, just trying to blink and breathe at the same time. Fucking lose their shit. Oh Jesus Christ! All right, so we've been going on for a long time, so I think for today we should wrap it up, right?
Yeah.
So So Brian, do me a favor, please, because you brought up at the beginning. I think you brought up at another point. Can you please plug your other podcast that you have going on right now?
Oh yeah, sure. So as you might know, I am. It's tough because I'm sure we have a lot of nerds in our audience, but
yeah, it's very true.
Yeah, of the like one or two people that are
hey,
probably going to
listen. Hey, nerds like sports too. That's how fantasy football
started. That's true. Fantasy football is D&D for nerds.
Exactly, 100%.
For sports people. But I'm part of Vox Media's SB Nation family, which is basically their sports version. You might have seen. There's a lot of Vox, like Destructoid is part of Vox. Mm-hmm. I think it's Destructoid.
Well, I hope so. You just plug them.
Yeah. Well, anyway, they have gaming divisions too.
Yes.
Like
they got a lot of shit going on.
Yeah. So I'm part of SB Nation, which is specifically sports, and then within those, there's SB Nation NFL, SB Nation NBA, SB Nation college football, So like, there's all these breakdowns, and they're all just blogs. Like SB Nation's a blog that covers all this stuff. SB Nation NFL covers all the NFL. And then there's individual team blogs, which is mine is Cat Scratch Reader, Carolina Panthers blog. Mm-hmm. I am the social media coordinator for them, and I typically do a podcast there as well called the Keep Sounding Podcast. Okay. We typically air that every Friday, which is funny because we usually record this on Fridays. I was
just gonna say
we record that on Wednesdays.
That makes sense.
So
do the editing.
Yeah, so it's a nice experience. So that's actually that's something where the following was there when I started. Where like it's different with something like us, where we're just starting. That's my podcast. Keep Sounding. If you like football, or if you even just like hearing me talk, I like hearing me talk personally. Come listen to us. It's on Facebook, Spotify, Google Podcasts,
and
iTunes.
Just to recap, what do they look up again when they're on those?
The Keep Sounding Podcast.
There we go. But
you can also just go on catscratchreader.com. Scrolling down the homepage, there's a little slot that just says Keep Sounding Podcast right smack dab in front of you that has the most recent episodes and where to find them.
There we go. Perfect.
Yeah, very easy to find. But yeah.
Good stuff. All right, Brian. So coming up, just at least schedule-wise for some stuff, we gotta so fun fact too, on a really quick side note for everybody. So we're recording this. We still haven't technically actually even got the channel set up, an official set, but we want to keep doing these recordings and get this stuff so we don't
backlog.
Exactly. So we're gonna have all this stuff recorded. Right now the date is February 22nd, just in case anybody's totally bored and they go, oh my god, by the time we actually upload this, or if they hear it months from now, Apex Legends is fucking old, you fucking fossils. So anyway, so we're putting that stuff up. We're gonna definitely try to have pretty soon the channel uploaded. We're gonna have people on. Shout out to fucking Gav who's trying to hop in on this shit.
Yep, Eric Gavlik will be on.
That's what I'm saying. We got a lot of, especially too, like I already have at least like 3 people in the fucking roster that want to hop in. Yeah. So this should be good. So we should definitely have a bunch of guests coming in. Worst case scenario, in the in-between weeks, it'll still just be me and Brian fucking shooting the shit. Yeah. We have enough to fucking talk about in the goddamn life of the fucking world.
Fun fact, we spent about an hour before we even recorded this talking.
Oh my god. Yeah. Jesus Christ, about all the fucking things.
Yeah.
So on that note, guys, thank you for tuning in. We super appreciate it. Tell all your friends. And on that note, guys, good evening, good night, and as always, good luck. Goodbye, everybody.
Good luck with your existence.